In contemporary circles, what is Disney Channel most known for? No, it would not be its animation or its original movies. It would be their infamous teen sitcoms. You know these: That's So Raven, Even Stevens, The Sweet Life series, Austin and Ally, Good Luck Charlie, Shake It Up, and so on. The main criticism these shows get is that they're basically all the same. A lot of these are basically a group of super best friends going on to wacky situations with over-the-top hijinks. That's all they really are. They're bland, they're cheesy, and they're more often than not the same as each other. However, sometimes these sitcoms would try to infiltrate their way into the animated lineup. Case in point, The Proud Family. The Proud Family was one of Disney Channel's biggest hits, right up there with Kim Possible and Dave the Barbarian before they screwed it over. Don't be fooled though. Above all, The Proud Family is one of these sitcoms. It has the same character types, the same character interactions, the same focus on morals, and so forth. However, the big thing that sets The Proud Family apart is that it gets it right. And it doesn't just get it right because it's a cartoon either. No, there's a lot more to it. So let me show you how The Proud Family managed to overcome the likes of all of these. First off, let's take a look at the characters. There's Penny Proud, the teenage girl going through teenage girl issues. There's Oscar Proud, the wacky, hyperactive dad. Trudy Proud, the more stick-in-the-mud parent who's the glue that holds the whole thing together. There's BB and Cece, the obnoxious younger siblings that take all the spotlight away from the older child. And Suga Mama, the extended family relation who's sassy and crazy. On paper, these characters sound about as interesting as sand. How many times have we seen the likes of these guys in any other show? If I had $1 for every time I've seen the wacky dad character or the moody teenage girl character, I think I could buy the entire nation of San Marino. Don't judge a book by its cover, folks. Just because things sound bad doesn't mean that they will be bad. Take a look at How to Train Your Dragon. Everyone says that the premise sounds terrible, but the writing made it lovable. Proud Family is no different, and there's no better way to prove it than by looking at our main character, Penny Proud. She is one of the best written kid characters I have ever seen, especially in a Disney product. She's right up there with Lilo, actually. What I like is that she's part of a Disney show, but they don't make her the stereotypical teenage girl where it's, ooh, fashion, ooh, boys, ooh, sparkly lip gloss. While yes, she has those moments on occasion, Penny is way more than that. She's sophisticated and has a really good head on her shoulders. Penny has a desire to be a grown-up, but every time she tries to be one, she feels like her parents are treating her like a little kid. This is how real teenagers think a lot of the time. Sometimes they feel like they know better, even better than their parents, and every single little restriction that their parents put in place is some kind of child block or baby mechanic or something like that. And she is not perfect either. She absolutely makes mistakes that she has to get bailed out of. But she's also there to help her friends out. Even La Cienega, who, by all means, is terrible to her in the first half of the series. She has her flaws, but not to the point where she's irredeemable. She's a good, well-rounded person, but not to the point where she's a Mary Sue. This is the kind of character we want to follow. Someone we can be interested in. And this goes for the rest of the family too. Like I said, Oscar Proud, when you get down to it, is a stereotype. How many times have you seen the trope of the crazy, wacky, often imbecilic dad? Off the top of my head, Mr. Turner, Hugh Neutron, Homer Simpson, Dexter's dad from Dexter's Laboratory, Billy's dad from The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, and I guess you can kind of count Professor Membrane from Invader Zim too. Oscar has two things that sets him apart from the crowd though. One, Oscar is not only a good husband, but a good father. See, with the likes of say Timmy's dad or Billy's dad, you have to keep wondering, how are these guys still parents? How is Child Protective Services not taking their kids away? Oscar has been shown many, many times to care very deeply about his family. Can he be a little overbearing at times, like Penny accuses him of being? Absolutely. But in his mind, he's right. And he's not hurting anybody by behaving like this either. Let me show you an example. One of the main running themes in the Proud Family is that Oscar does not want Penny around boys of any kind. Except maybe Sticky. Or Michael because he's gay. It's an exaggerated version of the dad doesn't want the daughter to be around boys and date trope. But Oscar has some logic behind it. As he says in the camping episode, it's not that he doesn't trust Penny. He absolutely does. It's the boys he doesn't trust. He didn't raise them, so he wasn't able to instill good moral values in them. And whenever he does mess up or go too far, he either gets what's coming to him, or willingly apologizes. In fact, sometimes he's the one that comes to the rescue in the first place, like when he helps La Cienega feel good about her abnormally large feet. And the second point about Oscar that I really like is that he's not stupid. Unlike all those other dads I mentioned, even the wonderful, legendary Hugh Neutron, Oscar is not an idiot. He's emotional, yes, he's hyperactive, absolutely, but he's not stupid. His stubbornness and tendency to get caught up in the moment can be seen as stupidity, but he's always aware of what's going on. This makes him a bit more wacky and outlandish rather than a blithering moron. And that is a very refreshing take. And now let's get to his wife, Trudy Proud. Trudy is perhaps the one that sticks most to the conventions, but that doesn't mean she's a dislikable character by any means. Unlike a lot of cartoon marriages, I can definitely see why Trudy and Oscar fell for each other. Whenever Oscar has his head in the clouds, Trudy's there to anchor him back down to earth. She serves as the voice of reason in the family unit. Though that's not saying that she can't have her, moments, because she absolutely can. If you push her buttons, you will absolutely feel her wrath, and that is not something you want to get in the way of. This isn't too much of an aspect of her character per se, but this is a little something about her I like. It's her profession. She's a veterinarian for exotic and strange animals, so a lot of the time we'll see her take care of celebrity monkeys or tigers or stuff like that. It adds a bit of fun and levity to what is, in all honesty, a very character-driven show. It helps remind us that, yes, it's animated, so it is a cartoon world. As great as the likes of The Critic or The Simpsons are, they're animated sitcoms that could easily take place in the real world, with a couple exceptions. The Proud Family doesn't do that, and thanks to Trudy, even the most grounded character can give it that cartoony edge. Given that BB and CC are babies, they don't have a ton of personality. However, there's still some to go off of. They love getting into trouble. They love abusing Puff, Suga Mama's dog. All the kind of crazy antics they get into are basically not focused on by any of the family. Every so often, Oscar or Penny will see them do stuff like this, but for the most part, Puff is their only witness and victim. Another touch I like about the twins is that they're not forgotten characters. Let's use The Simpsons again. I love Maggie Simpson. Despite the fact she's a baby, she has a lot of personality and a lot of potential. Still though, the most she gets in a vast majority of the episodes are background appearances. She's no more than a prop. As Homer Simpson says in Hello Gutter, Hello Fodder, Maggie is the forgotten Simpson. And honestly, there's every reason to forget about her. But even if an episode doesn't have a ton to do with them, BB and CC are never forgotten. They'll either be babbling on and baby talk in the background, they'll be mentioned from time to time, or they'll be doing some crazy antics while other people are talking. Even if technically they're the least important members of the family, they always are given something to do. They're never omitted or used as props, they're real characters. But still, none of these great characters can ever compare to the likes of the one, the only, Suga Mama! Simply put, Suga Mama is the grandma from that Lorax movie done right. She's more than the sassy, contemporary, young at heart, extreme grandma stereotype. She's got more to her than that. Although, it must be said, her antics are probably the best parts of the show. And it's no coincidence that the episodes that focus on Suga Mama tend to be the best ones. Even if she is pretty out there, she's still a functional member of the family and cares about them all very deeply. Except maybe Oscar, but we'll touch on that very soon. She's very affectionate with Penny and the twins, she's supportive of Trudy, and adores her younger son, Bobby. And then we get to Oscar. These two tend to fight a lot. But what I like is that it's not a case of, oh, one of them clearly hates the other, so this built up resentment. It's more of a chicken and the egg argument. Oscar is usually the instigator for these fights. However, he cites his reasoning for that being that Bobby was favored over him when he was growing up. But Suga Mama cites the reason she did this was because Oscar kept making a bunch of trouble and was a layabout loser back then, while Bobby had potential. Now, whether or not that's true, that remains to be seen, though we have seen a little bit of evidence crop up here and there, but let's not focus on that right now. And as much as they fight, they clearly care about each other. The biggest example is the episode, tastes like ... This is the episode where Suga Mama creates her Get Up and Go bars and starts selling them with proud snacks, and they become an international sensation. This episode shows just how much the two care about each other, even if they do snipe at each other a ton and often seem like they're at each other's throats. Above all, they're family, and they're supposed to be connected, and they know that. Suga Mama was devastated when Oscar didn't immediately make a bid for the Get Up and Go bar recipe. Of course, he eventually came around and that meant the world tour, but still. And it's not just the family that makes this show great. There's the side characters too. The Boulevardes family is a lot of fun, especially Poppy and his legendary laugh. Penny's friends are a lot of fun, with Zoe being the out-there weirdo geek, Sticky being the technological whiz, and La Cienega being the stereotypical valley girl done right. At first, she's very snide and callous towards Penny, but over time they become a bit better friends. They're never besties or anything, but La Cienega eventually grows to be a decent-ish person. Even the villains are a ton of fun. I love Wizard Kelly. Wizard Kelly's a Magic Johnson XP. Because of his amazing basketball skills, he's basically bought up the entire town. Every single event, every single venue, every single business has to have Wizard Kelly slapped all over it. And the dude totally lets it go to his head. Even so, he's not a terrible person, though he does have some underhanded actions, such as rigging a singing competition in La Cienega's favor because she's the far more marketable contestant. He's too over the top to hate, and he never causes too much harm. Besides, he's basically already won. And there's the Gross Sisters, the bully archetypes blown up to a comedic degree. They are nothing but thugs, and that's the joke. They can't be reasoned with, and they go so far in trying to extort money out of the kids. Much like Wizard Kelly, they're too over the top to hate. Now, I hate to say it, but for every chain, there has to be a weak link, and there is one in the Proud family. I love all these characters, but one. You may have noticed that when I mentioned Penny's friend group, I skipped one person, Djenae Jones. I hate her. She is one of my least favorite characters in anything ever. If you thought Patrick Star from the later seasons of SpongeBob was a bad friend, then wait till you get a load of Djenae. I have no idea why Penny decides to let her be her best friend. Djenae is self-absorbed, greedy, manipulative, causes lots of trouble for her friends, and abandons the friends when said trouble comes around, and only cares about what's hot and popular. Djenae has no sense of loyalty. In fact, I'd even say the Elder Wand from Harry Potter has more loyalty than her. Whenever something's hot and popular, she has to be a part of it. And that means whenever something isn't those things, she immediately distances herself from it. And that includes her best friend Penny. Time and time again, Djenae will create the conflict for an episode, run off to leave Penny to fix the mess, and then as soon as Penny does, Djenae returns, completely unpunished. Even in that one episode where she basically tricks Penny into babysitting her giant litter of siblings, she's almost about to be punished at the end. But no, Penny sees it in the goodness of her heart to give her, what is this now, a 39th chance, at least? I don't like anything about Djenae. And honestly, if she's not included in this reboot that they're coming out with, I think it would be so much better. Still, one bad character doesn't destroy this amazing show. And you're probably wondering why I only covered the characters in this video. Well, the Proud Family is a down-to-earth, for the most part, character-driven show. Everything comes from the characters, the writing, the scenarios, the morals, all of it. The characters are the driving force of the Proud Family, and, with the exception of Djenae Jones, they're all wonderful. I'm telling you, if the Disney Channel sitcoms of today would take a page from the Proud Family, they would be a lot more successful and have a lot more longevity. But as it stands, the Proud Family is, was, and always will be an example of how to get it right. Well, folks, thanks for watching the video. What'd you think of it? What do you think of the Proud Family? Do you hate Djenae as much as I do? Comment below and let me know, because I'm always excited to hear what you guys have to say. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you guys next time.